All right, my dude, you may need to hear some truth here. And really, the biggest significance about this reading is getting honest with yourself. Brutally honest with yourself. And that's not out of judgment, it's not out of shame, but I'm getting the impression that we're not following through. We're not taking action on our ideas. We're being a little bit careless. And that's not to say that it's intentional, right? Sometimes we just have way too many ideas, and it's like, which one do I follow through on? Maybe it's we're stalling because of perfectionism, because we're waiting on something. We're waiting to be more or know more. Maybe it's just because there's a lot going on and we feel a little bit immobilized. Maybe we just don't have the clarity that we think that we need to take the next step. And here's the deal. And here's the tough love here. And it is with an incredible amount of love. It's really time to start getting very honest. And drop the excuses. And drop all of the reasons why you can't or you don't know or da 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 da. You're just holding yourself back and you know it. And if there is any sense of unfulfillment right now, or just sheer exhaustion, or just almost like apathy, there's a reason for that. And your soul is really calling you to pour into something. And the biggest thing here is create. And I think a lot of us, when we hear that, it kind of makes us panic because we're like, create what? And we have this idea that we have to create some sort of masterpiece, or that it has to have a purpose, or that it has to make sense, or it has to be good. We came here to create. We came here to create. Our life force energy is of creation energy. It's time to get a little bit honest with ourselves. I feel like a lot of emotions are coming up right now. I feel like a lot of sensitivities. I feel like we could be, teetering on the edge of being a little bit moody. We got to drop some of these distractions that we got going on. We've got to drop some of these distractions, and those distractions are coming up through other people, through just tasks, just filling our day with tasks so we feel like we're accomplishing a lot of things, but really we're just doing to do. Our phone is another big one, where we're just endlessly scrolling and we get these little hits of motivation and then we do zero about it. This message is just as much for me, my dudes, as it is for anybody else who resonates with this. But this is not the time anymore to keep blowing smoke up your ass. It's time to get honest. Where are we leaking energy? Where are we being a little bit careless? Where are we almost, in a sense, running from ourselves as the clock time? There's also a message here of, there's also a lot of wands energy. There's a lot of fucking energy here for you. And it almost feels like impossible, because I think for a lot of us, we feel really exhausted. We feel really tired. We feel really maybe overwhelmed and just, flat out fucking exhausted. And I'm going to tell you this. A lot of times that exhaustion comes from us just not doing anything fucking fulfilling. Our soul is tired. Our soul is looking to express itself. And so we need to stop almost playing these games and getting in our way, and you know the things that you do and that your mind does to almost stop you from actually doing the very things that you want to do. This is not about need to do and should do, because that invokes an element of judgment, doesn't it? And shame. It's time to get real right, real good on what the fuck kind of life do you want to be living? And is it really just this monotony day in and day out of doing the same old, thinking the same old, and never really getting anywhere? Never really seeing anything through? Never ever realizing the things that we want to realize for ourselves, simply because we're stalling, simply because we don't know, simply because we're waiting and this, that, and the third. It's time to get really fucking honest with yourself. And I'm also gonna say this is a time to really focus on your home, on your family, on your your sacred space. So many times we're called to go out there and be out there. What would it look like if we really poured into this, our home, our families, if we were present and fully in our realities? We're always constantly chasing things that are out there, right? Let's pull some of that energy back in. Let's sit at our tables and take out some crayons and color on a piece of paper just for the sake of coloring on a piece of paper. There's also a reminder here with the King of Cups is that a lot of us, sometimes our distractions are of other people, where we're constantly pouring into others and tending to others and seeing others and making sure that they're happy and loved and this, that, and the third. We also need to make sure that we're tending to ourselves in that same way. Because a lot of times, overgiving and overpouring and constantly being distracted with everything outside of us really builds a sense of resentment, really builds this sense of I have to do it all on my own and it's all on my shoulders and I'm a fucking victim. This reading comes with a lot of love, but it also comes with a lot of truth. And sometimes the truth is hard to hear because we know it's the truth and it resonates. And it requires of us to do something different. So the invitation here today is, can we pull some of that energy back that we've been just leaking out on everything else and our distractions? And can we focus even for just 15 minutes on creating something, on pouring into something fulfilling, on making our home beautiful? Something along those lines. Fill up your cups. Fill up your cups. Don't get washed away with them or with other people. Lose the distractions. Link in my bio if you want to book a private reading.